When New York was still a village at the tip of Manhattan, some of its earliest inhabitants, not that they asked to come here, were black slaves. Right away, they started making a crucial contribution to the city's growth, but that didn't show up much in the history books. Black Gotham Experience wants to change our perception and, quote, celebrate the impact of the African diaspora on New York City.
So, at the next first Saturday at the Brooklyn Museum, coming up this weekend, Black Gotham will use the museum and its attendees to take a graphic historical novel called Other Side of Wall Street and create an interactive event called Make History. Here with the preview from Black Gotham Experience are William Ellis, art director and curator. Welcome to BK Live.
What's up?
And Darren Mallett, web series producer and director.
Hello. Hi. Thank you for having me.
Feeling good, feeling great. How about you?
Feel great. It's a beautiful day.
It is.
Busy day,
Black
but
History
beautiful.
Month.
Yes.
Yeah, happy Black History Month. Yeah.
So, gentlemen, Darren, can you tell us about the Black Gotham Experience and what is the mission behind that?
Yeah. So the Black Gotham Experience is an immersive storytelling project that started from a walking tour led by Kamau Ware. And it is taking on the stories of Black contribution here, specifically in New York City. And upon his walking tours, he realized there wasn't a lot of historical pictures and references, visual references, and media. And Kamau's practice is a photographer, and so he is, along with other designers like Will, creating experiences where you can see visual representation of these Black people through the 1700s, 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, and yeah.
So, Will, we got the lack of history being exposed, which turned into a walking tour, and now there's a graphic novel and a live experience. This thing continues to evolve.
Sure. Yeah. And and I think that's the beautiful thing about it is that as a brand, right, and as a platform, it's really about the mission. It's first, right, of education and providing sort of access to knowledge that's been kind of, I don't know if it's been hidden per se, but it just hasn't, been out there. And it can manifest in a couple different ways, in several different ways, unlimited amount of ways, right? It can be a web series, it can be a graphic novel, it can be a live exhibit, it can be a walking tour. We can go across seas and do something. And so the point is that once you have this body of information and assets and this sensibility, you can apply it to a whole bunch of different communication channels, and it can, and everybody can experience it in a different way, and I think that's the beauty of what's happening this weekend is that, the walking tour is one way to experience it. You can go on a walking tour, I think it's about 2 hours long or whatever it is, and, and that's a beautiful experience, and it's very academic and it's very interactive, but, if you're more into, comics or literature, you can interact with that and read that, and that's a beautiful process onto itself, because this, and that's specifically what I've been working on is the graphic novel. It's not just like visual art. Everybody who's in the graphic novel is an actual model, right? And the costumes were generated just for this, and they were all shot in a studio, and then we took them and then we applied, this graphical process to make it look like it's, dated, and then we created this panel. So every piece, it's a lot of work.
About that, since
it's a lot of process,
and it's become like this huge collective in this huge community.
Gotcha.
I have filmmaker friends who are a part of it. We have actors who are a part of it to be the models and the graphic designers. Right. You have people who design clothing who get to express the history through. There's so much design on so many levels, and so many artists that you can just bump into someone who's like, wait. You working on this project too?
Okay, so can you tell us about what people will sort of experience this weekend?
Put us in the room on Saturday.
So I'm really excited. First, let me say I'm really excited about this. So I've been doing, like graphic, branding, web design, you name it, like for the last 20 years. And so, that's one thing, but I also DJ. And I also kind of curate events, right? And to be a part of something like this is just incredible, right? Because what we're doing is we're taking the style and the ethos and the sensibility of the book and the project altogether, and we're trying to create an interactive experience, in this huge, beautiful hall.
We see
Right.
panels being hung.
Yeah, we're
that
like we're hands on,
iconic hall.
we're hands on here.
All right.
So, if I can paint the picture for you,
Yeah.
there'll be several stations of interactivity, right? So at one station, you'll have the founder, Kamau, literally taking pictures of all the attendees, or not all, but
Yeah.
whoever comes, whoever wants to, of the attendees, right? Then we're going to take that in high res, right? No iPhone stuff, right? Okay. In high res. Then we're going to pass those files over, right, to myself and Adrian Franks and Cliff Washington, very talented designers and art directors, and live, real time, on stage, we're going to take those images and convert them to the graphic novel style, right? Again, that kind of like looks like it's wood etched, and whatever. And then we're going to take that and then project it onto the screen. So there's a lot happening there, right? So as a guest, the level of engagement, right, to come to this event, right, and now become a piece of art. In a museum, in an institution, right? Yeah. So this, just from a black history, to see all these beautiful black faces. Of course, there'll be, lots of different people and like diversity within the museum. But this, if you think about this, like to see all these beautiful black faces in this like very pristine art style being projected onto this screen in this like I think the court, the Beaux Arts court, was designed like in the 1800s or something like that. That's beautiful, right? While all that's happening, right?
Music and stuff.
I'll also be DJing, and so there's like,
You got 5 jobs.
Right, I got 5 jobs,
on
fine.
the island.
Then there'll be another station where, the fashion designer will be talking about, her process for design. So there's so many stages of interactivity and engagement that you're just getting
For
this.
all the senses. There's so many times it's a
You go and see this thing.
Yeah, you're just studying like you're a student, like, oh, this happened this year, sort of rote memory, but to see yourself put into it, to smell it, to taste it, to hear
dance,
it.
whatever.
Absolutely, moves the spirit.
It's a lot of moving parts.
It's a lot of moving parts, and I think what's special about it for me is that it's very African.
Yeah.
Right? And it's, because, you think about, rituals and experiences in the diaspora, there's no spectator, right? You don't come and watch this thing. You're a part of it. Whether you're dancing or you're beating a drum or you're doing whatever it is, you're a part of it.
Energy feeds the energy.
Exactly.
So Darren, what do you want people to take away at the end of the night? You guys are pulling out all the stops. What feeling, what continuum do you want to get on?
I was asking Kamau this because I was like, there's so many things happening. It's so much. It's really about tapping into a feeling. That's what Kamau was really saying. It's like, it's about really inclusivity and feeling a part of it. And I liked what you said. You're not just a spectator. Just you being there and showing up and being present, you are making history. And it's really walking away with a feeling and knowing that there is a community of artists and everyone across the board that want to tell the full story of history.
Was there anything that in your background, reporting for this or research that you found that just you didn't know that just sort of really opened your mind to how much has been sort of forgotten and ignored?
I wasn't really aware of like the free blacks. There was this pocket, there's this pocket of time where there were a generation or so to my remembrance where there were free black people right here in Lower Manhattan.
Absolutely.
In communities, right. So that was just like a eye-opening, and then I wasn't aware that Portugal kind of invaded Angola, and there was just the little details that slipped through the cracks in my memory. And revisiting the history, it's so vast, it's so because Kamau and the whole team were covering like centuries here. There's a lot that happens, during the Revolutionary War and during the Civil War that we don't always talk about.
So for everyone who is sadly not able to attend and take part in this Saturday,
What do you mean they can't come on
listen,
Saturday?
things happen. Your president might do something else that makes me rush to the airport.
Wow.
So how can we all partake in this? Because you guys do multiple things. So if you can't come Saturday, you can still get connected.
Yes. You can still do the walking tour. You can check the web series, which I think you've
Yes.
shot and edited.
Yeah. We'll be shooting this event for the web series. We're one episode in, and the web series will be dropping monthly. Episodes will be dropping monthly starting later on this month in February. But blackgotham.com is where like all the parts come together. Blackgotham.com.
Well, check the website, check the YouTube, stay in tune, and
You're in
let's go
HuffPo
get
today,
immortalized,
too, right?
man.
Yeah, I think like right now.
No, 2:30, I think.
2:30. Okay.
No, don't turn yet.
No.
But for like our seniors who might not be able to get out in the winter and move around as much as you'd like, take the tour with them today. You'll be there.
Right.
But
Yeah,
home.
I think what HuffPo is doing is it's HuffPo Black Voices.
Right.
They're doing a
live
Facebook
Facebook,
Live,
yeah, absolutely.
so you can
That's
like
the day.
actually watch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
beautiful.
You can
So-
take the walk
Watch,
from
go online.
home
Yeah, it's like
after
you're there.
you're finished with us.
After, yes.
We're finished.